Today I'll show you how to make this tri-fold folio from my Rustic Botanicals folio kit, available on my Etsy website, collagetype.etsy.com. I'll show you how to put this together. Here's a little journal. I glued that down. Little folio. Here's a slant pocket filled with all kinds of goodies. Here's this envelope that, again, I glued this one down. This is filled with lots of little elements. All of these things are included in the kit. Here's the back, the front, and the center back. Let's get started. I'll use these papers that are part of the kit called Rustic Botanical from my shop, collagetype.etsy.com. This is part of the tri-folio I'm going to show you how to make. I printed on the back side. Here's another part of the folio. Here's a pocket that will go inside the folio, printed on that back side. Here are some pages that are going to be a small journal, or you could cut them out individually for journal cards, or cut them out as one piece to fold and make a small journal. I love these little labels, botanical labels. Most of these images are from the 17 and 1800s. Just some more cards we'll use. Here's some bookmarks I printed on the back side. These two you can cut out individually or cut out as one piece, fold in half to make a small, different, unique journal cover. Some other stamps and things I've created. And here's another page of insert cards. I printed on the back of that one as well. And this is an envelope that will glue down inside of our tri-fold folio, and I printed on the back side. I really love this image of those flowers. That's from the 1800s. And so that when you open your envelope, there's an inside and it's not white. Here are the tools I'll be using: an inker with an ink pad, glue stick, pencil for marking, scissors for cutting, hole punch, clear plastic ruler. This is an absolute necessity. Corner punch, and this scorer pad, which I think is a necessity. I've cut everything out. I just wanted to share with you a couple of things. Save the directions. This is about the envelope and how to do it. Plus, on the back side is that decorative piece of paper that you could cut out and stamp on and use for embellishing. So what I did was I attached these here so I would know what was happening when I get ready to do it. This one is the envelope. Then I thought I would share with you when I cut out these tickets. Instead of trying to cut that little corner, I'll use my hole punch, and then that's finished. And I included some journal cards that have rounded edges, and instead of trying to cut those out, you can get a beautiful smooth cut with this. Easy and fast. So I just wanted to give you those couple of tips. And my advice would be to cut everything out before you begin. Then you can just roll right through and don't have to stop. So I've got everything cut out, and I'm in the middle of inking my edges right now. And I was just going to show you what that looks like. So you take this ink and your sponge, if that's what you want to use, and you just kind of go like this. all the way around. Now this, I don't know if you can see those little bit of white edges. That's just what's great about the inking part, is it'll hide all those, or if you don't have something cut out perfectly, it will hide that too. I'm going to start by making this small journal, and I'll take the first page, line it up on my scorer here, make sure I get the center line right in the middle, and I will score like that. Now you don't have to score very hard, you don't want to, and you can score from the front no matter which way you're going to fold. And now I'm going to bend these right sides together and fold these all together like this. Now I have all of my small journal pages in order, folded, ready to go. I laid them out. I started working from the back first. You can do it however you like. I can't stress enough, open, make sure you're putting it in the right place. I put a little glue on that last sheet. Try to get this lined up as best as you can. You can always come back and trim, but it'd be nice, the less trimming the better. Get that down, go like this. Here's our last sheet. I like to open it up, make sure I get it on there just right, and then the front, and you really, it doesn't matter so much if the front and the back line up on the inner part here where you want them to line up. Let's make sure I'm going the right direction. I am. And then here's the back. You could leave a little opening if you wanted along one edge, not put any glue like all the way through that section. And I forgot to ink this once I cut it in half. Let's make sure. Okay, this is going the right way. We're going to get this piece out here like this, a little bit more. We'll cover the spine with a piece of paper. If we need to, like along these edges, we can trim. And you would just take your scissors and go like this. If you needed to, you might have to come a little bit there. Clean that up, and then you'll also want to put some ink along these edges too. And just in case you can see any of your little bit of that cut like that, and that cleans that right up. Ink is so great for hiding all those edges, so there we go. Now I'm going to create a spine for my little journal here. And this was that envelope directions, tells you what to do with the envelopes. But I'm going to turn it into a spine. That's why it's great to save all these little pieces. And I will mark it, cut it, and score it. So before I create my spine, I made it a lot smaller as far as the width, and now I'm going to ink it, because once it's on you can't ink ink it. And then I'm going to put it about right here, but I'm going to look at the top. I'm going to just give it a little fold like this, but I'm going to actually score it. So I like the way that looks. So I'll get out my trusty scoring tool again. I think it was about right there and about right there. Bend where those scores were. Anyway, that looks good. So now I will glue the spine on and we'll let that dry. Burnish right there. Like the contrast of this that I chose here. And then when you're done, let it dry for a while, but you can take your ink and go along that edge there too. Okay, that looks really great. Your journal's done. Now we're going to work on this trifold folio. So I put it on here on my scorer, and I'm going to score these lines here like this. I already scored this line, and this line. And you want to hang on to those directions in case you need help. I'm going to bend my folds. I'm not going to score them too, or press them down, burnish them too much yet. Kind of get it ready. And this will actually be the front. We're going to glue these edges together so when it'll look like that when it's closed. This is the inside. So let's straighten that out a little bit. So I'm going to take my glue stick. I'm going to make sure I have plenty of glue here because this will get opened a lot. And I'm going to take my glue and go over onto this edge, past the points. This one's going to go on top. I'm going to glue along that edge there. Oops, I don't know if you can see that. Gluing right here along this edge, like that. Take this. It's the points that you're going to match up. So you're not going to match it up there. You're going to come overlap. Just like that. This is the outside. Here's the inside. But you're going to have so it's going to be like this. Now I'm going to create the envelope that's going to go inside. So I'm going to score. I've scored my envelope. You could use either side. You know, I love this print so much. It was really hard. This is the inside, but I have this on the front of this trifold. So anyway, I'm going to take this. I'm going to mark a little line inside so I know how much glue to put on, how far up to go. I made that little line right there. You probably can't see it. I made it just right underneath that top flap. Put plenty of glue. Try not to get it on the inside. So this postcard, this paper I created, this postcard, this would be one of our ancestors from Rockford, Ohio. Got all their ephemera. Whoops, there goes my glue rolling past. And this is how you do that. It's that simple to make that. This is the flap, which is fun. It's a little bit different. And then I decided I'm going to put this in here so that we can have a pocket to fill. So I'm going to glue that down. And I created this to glue down. So I'm going to put plenty of glue on there That way you can get into the pocket. It's just something different, something fun. Covering that up. Now the folio is done and ready to go. It's three-dimensional. Scores there, scores there. This is what the front looks like. You open it up. Here's this envelope put in there. This is the back side. So now we're going to put right here this pocket, but I'm going to show you how to make that. This is fairly easy to do as well. Score each one of these lines. We'll fold our pocket sides back. These are all numbered 2, 1, 2, and 3. So we'll put, now that they're folded, we want to put 1 and 2 down first so that, especially down there in those places, so that number 3 has something to grab onto when it dries. So all of this dimensional folds are designed so that you can put a lot of stuff in this pocket. Right now I'm embellishing, so I want to show you a couple things that I've done. I punched holes and put ribbon here and here on these. Some of these I won't do. It's really personal preference. I'm going to have to put that one in first, I think. So, just for fun, bookmarks, you can stamp on them or write on them. I took one of these, folded it in half with the little edge showing, and I'm going to put that right here, and I'm going to stamp a word inside there. I'm not sure what yet. I did glue this down, so I didn't need to put that back on like I showed you, but I liked that. I began to fill the envelope with some elements. I put one there. I put that there. This little oval I put there, so it's really coming together. So I tried stamping on here and it was this inside paper was too dark, so I stamped the word love on a piece of scrap. That's why it's a good reason to keep your scrap paper until you're done. And then I cut it out. I did it real random. I didn't line anything up. So now that says love in there when you open it. That's pretty sweet. Now I'll take this back and glue this. So right now is the time where you take all the elements and even your own elements. Maybe you have pictures of your children or grandchildren or something like that, and now you make it your own. So that's fun to have that extra thing there. And there's lots of small things that you can do different things with. So we have this, there's the back, front, inside, open it up. That looks good there. There's another little folder you can create. Tickets. Maybe this one because it's a little smaller, but I like the contrast of this better, but I might use this one. Oh, look, that looks good like that. At another angle. And what's great is if there's an element that you love in this kit, you can print it out again and again. Right there.